What's going on, YouTubers? Today I'm doing another top 10 list. Today is the top 10 1/3 scale statues. That's obviously in my collection. There's some I wish were in my collection, like the ECC Marcus and like, and they would definitely make my top 10 list, but they're not in the collection. So we're just going to do the top 10 of my collection. I own 21 1/3 scale statues with possibly some more coming in. Who knows? We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and do the top 10 of all the 1/3s in my collection. And I consider all my 1/3s but one extremely good. For the exception of the 1/3 Logan I have, I don't consider that good at all. But every other 1/3 in this collection, I consider absolutely amazing. So this is going to be a tough one, but let's find out who made the top 10 list. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So number 10 on my list is going to be the Prime 1 Harley Quinn statue. The statue stands 28 inches tall. It's the best rendition of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, who, pretty much anyone that's seen her in Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey loves her. She absolutely killed the role. And this is an absolutely beautiful statue by Prime 1. Very sexy, the pose, the sculpt. It has some mixed media, with this actually being real, not sculpted. And I think they did a good job doing that. I would prefer that to be mixed media. This is my favorite head sculpt. It does come with 4 head sculpts, but this one just really screams Margot's Harley Quinn. It has really good likeness. Paint job's amazing. I fell in love with this statue since day one of seeing it. And then here is the exclusive. The second best head, the bubblegum, which looks amazing. And then the worst of all the heads, but still good, is just the straight face. For the most part, I usually stick to the bubblegum exclusive, but mostly this one. I love this head sculpt. For me, this statue is just absolutely amazing. One that I would keep for life. They just killed it overall. Great base, absolutely, for me, the best Harley Quinn out there, and number 10 on my list. Alrighty, let's get to number 9 on the list. So I love all these 1/3 scales by PCS. I think they're all amazing, but when it comes down to choosing which of these are like the best and whatnot, which of these will make my top 10 list, I'm gonna have to go with the original 2. So at number 9, we're gonna go with Sub-Zero. This is heavy polystone, great mixed media. The face and the eyes are painted extremely well. Tons of blood splatter throughout the statue. I actually really like the mixed media on this. I think if they did a sculpted one, it would not look as good. What I love about this one is I love him holding this spine here, the skull. It's painted extremely well, looks absolutely amazing. Does have a light up freeze hand where he's developed the freeze ball. And it looks great how the freeze effect is going into his arm. The base is amazing. I absolutely love it. Very Sub-Zero themed with his logo all throughout. The snow effect looks amazing. The blood, I mean, look at that blood. It looks so well done. Splatter everywhere over his boots. They absolutely knocked out of the park. It's an amazing 1/3, and that made number 9 on my list. Then number 8 is the original first 1/3 by PCS, Scorpion. This includes 2 head sculpts. I prefer the skull. I just think it looks more menacing and does light up in the eyes like a fire eye, and it looks so cool when lit up. Probably my favorite skull I've seen for a head skull. They absolutely did an amazing job. The yellow looks great. The blood splatter looks great. This costume has gone through several battles. You can see the sculpt in the arms. They did an amazing job. And this has the classic NetherRealm Studios pose, which is one reason I love it so much. Scorpion obviously being one of my favorite characters. I love this pose. It's the NetherRealm Studios pose. If you ever look at the Mortal Kombat in NetherRealm, this is the pose in that actual, thing. So the spear is high quality metal. Looks great, has blood splatter. It's definitely killed lots of enemies. I love the base on this. It does light up like a lava type effect. Tons of skulls throughout. You know, perfect scorpion theme complement to the Sub-Zero. So I love this statue. You know, this and Sub-Zero, they're just absolutely amazing. I really do love all these 1/3s, but for me, these two are the best considering the switch outs. You know, they're very heavy and just solid statues. The other ones, for some reason, PCS went really light on those three. They're very light. Like Reptile's like hollow. He's light as a feather. He looks great, but you can just tell Scorpion and Sub-Zero are more high quality and they just overall look better. The mixed media seems to be a little bit better material. So that's number 8 is PCS Scorpion. Alrighty, now we're getting to number 7, and this is made by Prime One Studios. It's from their Justice League line. And yes, I'm super excited for the Snyder Cut. I can't wait. It makes me even happier that, you know, I have this line, knowing that the Snyder Cut, which I'm very certain is going to come out a complete hit. It's going to just increase the value of these statues even more because, you know, next year these are going to be very hard to obtain and people are going to want them after Snyder Cut comes out so amazing. So number 7 on my list is the Prime One Wonder Woman Ultimate Edition. So I got it here with this Olivia art print. Same pose, so I just love that. But Prime One did an amazing job on this statue. The sculpt is killer. Great likeness to Gal Gadot. Love the pose, you know, her classic pose, the finishing move she did to finish off Ares in the Wonder Woman movie. You got the sword and shield and back, which is removable. Love the armor, the skin tone looks great. I just love the whole look of this, the base. You know, I love these bases on these statues. They look awesome. Very cool looking. But the thing with this Ultimate, it actually comes with a second body, which I have displayed over here. So this is my little Wonder Woman shrine. And this is the second body where her hands are on her hips. She basically did this a few times throughout the movie, actually, at the very beginning, the end, and when they just won the battle. And it does come with a scarf, which she also wore in the movie. So you can display the scarf if you want. I think when I have the statue on display, like if I was to switch it out with the other ones, I do like the scarf. But when it's just here, I don't like the scarf. Not the exact same face sculpt. She actually has a slightly different, like, expression where her mouth is slightly open, but it's a beautiful face sculpt. It looks just like Gal Gadot. They definitely did an amazing job. I love how you get this switch out torso, and this is quite big actually. It's 17 inches tall. You know, it's like almost the size of a 1/4 scale statue. Yep, so there that is. Absolutely amazing. I love Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. And I love this statue. I think they did an amazing job. So this made number 7 on my list. Number 6 on my list is another Justice League statue. For me, this is the best Justice League statue in this line, and it's the Batman. I think Batman is the best. I think his base is the best, you know, especially how it ties into him having that massive, cool-looking skull like he's on top of a roof at the very beginning. And I love his pose. His pose is so well done. You know, he has a switch out head with an unmasked portrait, as well as a switch out hand where it's just a fist. And they both look great. But this is my preferred option, holding this little grappling gun like he's on top of a roof, about to jump off and use his grappling gun. This head sculpt is absolutely amazing. You know, translucent resin. Just look at that 5 o'clock shadow they did right there. That like little beard. Amazing. Very realistic, super high quality. You know, the cape is super high quality, like a leather type material. The costume is very good paint job and detail. You know, that texture work's just phenomenal. For me, this is the best Batman in 1/3 scale. You know, I'm not a huge comic collector, so I don't really care for any of the like comic ones like the Hush and all the other ones that people just love. I'm a movie collector, and this is the best Batman movie statue. So for me, this is the best Batman in 1/3 scale. I just love it. I think Prime One absolutely killed it, and hopefully Ben Affleck will come back as the Batman, per rumors right now going on the internet. But yeah, Batman is the best in this line. Just his pose, switch outs, overall look for me is my favorite. So he comes in At number 6, best 1/3 scale statue. Alrighty, now we're down to the top 5, and these top 5 are all extremely expensive statues, all basically $1,500 and up. And number 5 is going to be my ECC Reaper. So the Reaper maquette, this one is something I hunted down for a very long time. The base is quite awesome, has a light up function, like these are vampire glee, and then it has this severed head, which looks awesome with the blood draining out. I love the look in the eyes. He does actually have mixed media, so this is like real leather, real necklaces and chains. Looks awesome. And the thing about this one is just that face sculpt is so amazing. Just look at that. Absolutely amazing. The mouth, the blood effect, the glossy look, the chain necklaces, the pose. I still think this is one of ECC's best in the 1/3 lines they've done. Absolutely love it. Amazing detail. And for the longest time, this was my favorite 1/3. There you have it. He stands 28 inches tall. No switch outs. It is what it is. You see here, that's how the statue is forever. But yeah, they absolutely killed it with the paint effect, all those veins and the detail on his body. I don't see any flaws in this statue. So this comes in at number 5. Number 4 is going to be PCS Goro. And the only reason Goro doesn't place higher on my list is because of the material used. I feel like they cheaped out a little on some of the material. I feel like the hair could have been a better hair quality. It feels kind of like a cheap hair, the way it looks and feels. And I feel like the statue's probably pretty hollow throughout. I don't know, it just like feels that way. I mean, it is an absolute grail, no doubt, but I feel like PCS did cheap out a little bit. Plus the magnets were all super weak in all 4 arms. The lighting function dies out instantly, pretty much on everyone I know that owns this. The necklace breaks trying to, insert it onto the head. So, it's not without issues. But, when it's said and done, it's on display like this. Goro's one of the reasons I got into statue collecting ever since watching the original Mortal Kombat movies. And, in Mortal Kombat, they always show off statues in the background. And I always wanted a giant Goro statue. So for me, this was a dream statue. I absolutely love it. It has real fur and like mixed media where this feels like a very thin leather type material. I wish they would have did translucent resin for his skin. I think if they did, it would take this to the next level, as well as better hair. This hair, it's like, I don't know, it's like super thin. It just doesn't feel like as high quality as like some of the other statues I have that have hair. It just feels like this is a very cheap, like the cheapest possible hair one could buy. So PCS in general always, I feel like, tries to cut corners, especially on their later stuff. Some of the older stuff, I feel they did a great job, but some of the newer stuff they come out, they really cut corners. But Goro overall is an absolute grail for me, even with its flaws, the sheer presence of it at 35 inches tall. The pose is pretty good overall. You have one fist hand, like he's ready to fight. The other 3 are open. I love this base. This base is amazing. Goro's layer, 3 head skulls, bunch of bones. Very, very cool. Overall, just an absolutely phenomenal statue, though. One that would never leave my collection. He's also increased quite a bit in value. He retailed at like $1,400, plus $150 shipping. But now he goes for over $2,500. So, there's only 150 of these made. But still absolutely one of the best 1/3 scales ever made. So this for me made number 4. Number 3 on my list is going to be the Dog Alien Maquette. This is by Prime 1 Studios. This is the deluxe version where it comes with basically an additional head sculpt right here, as you see, where his mouth is not open with that little I'm not sure what it's called, his teeth, inner jaw coming out. But this statue is absolutely massive, 26 inches tall to the top of that tail. Base is pretty good, you know, this is, the only problem with this is it's from the worst Alien movie. But they absolutely killed it on the sculpt and paint. The way the dome effect looks, and this just whole neck area, all the detail, the shiny, glossy look. That mouth looks awesome. I love the look of the mouth. The tail is absolutely massive. I mean, just look how long that is. Insane. And then just look at all the detail on this body, that rib cage. You know, overall, this is the best alien statue out there that I've ever seen. The pose is pretty good. You know, it's the dog alien, so he's on all four hands. You know, he runs like that. So pose is good. Base is good. Detail is one of Prime One's best. You know, they really did a phenomenal job on this. I saw the prototype in person, and this looks just as good, if not better. But this has amazing presence, incredible detail, just overall looks amazing. So, you know, if you're a fan of aliens, this is the alien statue to get, no doubt. You know, and it's valued quite well as well. You know, I think it was like $16.99 for the deluxe, but for what you get, absolutely worth it. You know, there's a lot of other statues out there that don't look as good as this that go for more. But they absolutely killed it on this, and so this made number 3 on my list. Now we get to the top 2. And number 2 on my list is ECC Pennywise Maquette. I think ECC did an amazing job on this. From the switch outs, the base, the pose, everything about it. It screams high quality. So the base, as you can see, is obviously a sewer theme. The water effect is absolutely amazing. They absolutely did an amazing job. But then you get the additional head sculpt to display inside the base, which I think is genius. You got the SS Georgie falling down the drain with the Pennywise. You can see the way they angle it, it just looks awesome. He's looking up at you. You can see those glass eyes in the head sculpt. And this is the regular head, where right now I do have more of the projector screen head is what it's technically from. But I love how you can be able to display the additional head in here. You know, really creates a scene and tells a story. At the very beginning, you know, when the Georgie boat went down, Pennywise was in the sewer. So iconic, so cool. You have real grass. The whole base in general feels extremely high quality. I think they did an amazing job. It's huge as well, very tall, you know. Then you get to Pennywise himself. Mixed media throughout. Feels very old and like raggedy type material, you know, because Pennywise is very old. But that face sculpt is absolutely amazing. Has glass eyes for a 1/3 scale. Translucent resin, real hair. The balloon. They just absolutely killed it. It looks absolutely amazing. I love it. One of the more expensive pieces, no doubt, in my collection. You know, this goes for $2,700, but it's definitely worth it. And next to my bust, they just look, you know, there isn't a better Pennywise display out there than these two. These are the 2 ultimate Pennywise collectibles out there, no doubt. So this made number 2 on my list. ECC Pennywise. And now we get down to number 1, which is the Wolf Predator by Sideshow Collectibles. This is an older piece. I drove across state to get this bad boy, spent $2,500 cash. Actually, the way I really did it is I had first 4 figures, Link, Wolf, Link, and Zant, which I spent about $700 for both at the time, sold them both for $2,500, and then got this. So in essence, this bad boy cost me $700, you know, plus the gas money and whatnot, you know, so let's say $100 in gas. So in reality, I spent about $800 to get this Wolf Predator. You know, that's the glory of, you know, statues rising in value. You can sell them and get something else. You know, and so I've also added the Sideshow Wolf half scale, and this little custom 1/3 mask, which I can either display on the base, you know, like because he's maskless, or just right there on that stand, which also looks very cool. Got this custom metals plaque made. But Wolf was one of those dream pieces for me when I first got into statue collecting. He was my most wanted statue. You know, he has the coolest pose of a 1/3, you know, because it's actually dynamic. Most 1/3s are always museum, but I love dynamic. And so him leaping off an alien he just killed, this is the alien he actually whipped, you know, I remember it specifically from the movie. Right now I'm actually displaying the like spear, but for the most part this whip is cooler. I just haven't displayed the spear ever because it never fit when I displayed it. But the base can't be beat. Jumping off an alien that he just killed. That pose is perfect, and that face sculpt is absolutely amazing. I think this is Sideshow's best statue they've ever made. The whole look of it, the design of Wolf, it's definitely the best designed Predator out there for me. I think it's the coolest looking, definitely has the coolest looking face, and it can't be topped. And then this is the switch out head. So if you want to display the masked version. Masked also looks very cool, but I just prefer the unmasked. I just think it looks overall cooler. Yeah, but for me, this is like the ultimate Grail Predator. There's not a better Predator statue out there, and there never will be. Nothing can defeat Wolf. The only thing you could do is if you copied this statue and just used higher quality like glass size and translucent resin. But outside of that, this is the best Wolf statue, best Predator statue for me, and it will never be beat. Ultimate Grail, no doubt. You just can't beat that face sculpt. Face only a mother could love. Plus that pose is just killer. You know, I've seen the ECC Predator, their 1/3 in person, actually a few times, but Wolf still stands to tell the best Predator statue out there. Definitely for me is better than that one, no doubt. So this is number 1 on my list of the best 1/3 scale statues in my collection. Tons of other ones, you know, I still love, you know, like that Deadshot, and love all the Justice League, Deathstroke, PCS Melina. But if it boiled down to the top 10, those are my favorite 10 in the collection. That's it though, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.